We are the sexagenarian sages.
We are here to bust the myths of sex and aging.
And today, I want to show you some exercises that you can do for your vaginal muscles. The title of this video is Yoga for Your Yoni. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term Yoni, it's your vulva area. It's the entire pelvic floor with your vaginal muscles, your labia, the whole area down there. And as you probably know, as we get older, we may lose some tone down there, particularly after you go through menopause. And that was a challenge that I faced. I actually went through a period of close to 10 years where we just weren't having sex. And our stories shared in some of the other videos. But what I found was once I overcame the problem that was causing me to have painful penetration, my muscles had lost elasticity and they'd lost strength. So what I started doing was working with what are called Yoni eggs. And if you could hand me that glass jar there, please. He's serving as my lovely assistant today. I know I should say handsome, shouldn't I?
Call me Igor.
Okay. So these are my Yoni eggs. Mine happen to be made of obsidian. They come in a variety of different materials. Jade is a popular material. Would you hold that, please? So when I bought my eggs, I bought a set of 3 because you'll notice, and I can do this one this way.
You hold one?
Not just yet. They come in various sizes. There's a large one, there's a medium one, and there's a small one. Now, there are a number of sources for these eggs. I will post some links to some places that you can get them. And as I said, my preference was to buy a set of 3 so that I could work my way up to the smaller size. Because you actually start with the largest size you can insert comfortably. And then as your muscles get more toned, you go to smaller and smaller sizes. Now the eggs come both undrilled and drilled. The advantage of the drilled is that you can attach a string, which makes removal a little bit easier.
Is this what you use?
Oh, you're ahead of me. Thank you. You're trying to be helpful. So yes, the drilled ones usually come with a string. You're going to want to discard that string because you're going to want to replace the string every time you use them for cleanliness reasons. So what I use, and it is right way around, yes, is unwaxed, unflavored dental floss. So you simply pull off a good long piece of it. Put that back for me, please. I'm not going to try to string one, but I will just show you that what I do is I double over the piece. Maybe I will try to string it. We'll see what happens. You hand me the large one. And you simply string the thread through the hole and then tie it with the other end. So now you've got actually a quadruple piece of the dental floss. And tie it off so that then when you insert it, you can just pull it back out again when you're ready to. Now, if you use an undrilled one or you decide not to insert the string, you can remove it by simply squatting and pressing down with your vaginal muscles. But make sure you've got your hand there to catch the egg, or you're standing over a blanket or something to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I assume these could probably break if they hit a hard floor.
Depending on what you're making out, and particularly since mine are obsidian, they tend to be a little more breakable. So how do you use a Yoni egg? And I'm going to kick you out of the picture.
Okay.
Have you take your stool with you. I'm going to start out with the ones for beginners. If you've never used an egg before, or if you don't have a lot of flexibility, I suggest doing it sitting down. Take just a couple of minutes before inserting your egg to center yourself, notice your breath, and relax. Especially if this is new to you. This is something different. We tend to tense up our pelvic floor muscles. You want to try to get them relaxed. So if that's just a minute or so of deep breathing, perhaps, to get yourself relaxed. So insert your egg. And then if you're going to do it sitting, sit forward on the chair and sit up straight. And then what you want to do is tense just your vaginal muscles, your perineal muscles, as you breathe out, and do it slowly. Take 5 to 7 seconds to breathe out and tighten your muscles, and you'll feel the resistance of the egg in there. And you'll feel that egg lifting further into your vaginal canal, and release the tension on the egg. And it might help to spread your legs a little bit, or it might, for you, be better with the legs together. Experiment a little bit and see what works best, what you can feel the most. So it's exhale and squeeze. Inhale and release. Exhale and squeeze. Inhale and release. And do that 10 times or so. When I first started working with my Yoni eggs, I made it a daily practice. I was repeating the contractions 10 times, at least once a day. Occasionally I might do it more, a couple of times a day. And then as things improved, I started spreading the practice out a little bit more. And at this point in time, I'm doing it about once a week. And I actually incorporate it into my yoga practice. Now I need to adjust my position a little bit. As I said, I've incorporated it into my yoga practice because I have found as I've become more flexible, there are some different exercises that work a little better for me. A fairly simple one, if you're not real flexible, is to simply lay on your back. The legs spread, bring your feet closer to your body if you can. And then just repeat the exercises with the egg in place. Whereas you exhale, you tighten your vaginal muscles. And release them as you inhale. As you exhale, you tighten your vaginal muscles. And release them as you inhale. And then if you want something a little bit more challenging, what you can do is you can do a bridge. And I would like my yoga block, please. And yes, I know that means you have to cross into the camera. Thank you, dear.
Yoga block.
So your ability to do a bridge is going to be based on your flexibility. If you're not real flexible, don't try to go up real high. Bring it up just a little bit. And repeat the exhale and tighten. Inhale and release. And maybe you could get up a little bit higher, and maybe placing a block underneath you will help you with that as well. This is just another way of working with the Yoni eggs. It gives you a little bit more challenge. Thank you, dear. You are going to want to keep your eggs clean. So every time you use your eggs, remove the string and discard it. And then wash your egg with warm water and soap. And when you first get your eggs, and periodically, I would do it at least once a week if you're using the egg on a regular basis. What you want to do is to do a deep cleaning. And the way to do a deep cleaning is to put it into a container that's going to take some heat. I like to use a mason jar. Heat some water up to boiling. Once the water reaches a rolling boil, turn the heat off, let it sit for just a moment, cool off down to the point where the bubbles aren't real active. You can still have small bubbles in there, and pour it over your egg. And then just let the egg sit in that water as it cools off. And that'll give it a deep cleaning for you, as on top of the cleaning it on a daily basis with soap and water. I have found the Yoni eggs to be very helpful. As I mentioned back when I first started having sex on a regular basis again, I noticed that I wasn't getting the sensations in my vagina that I had in the past. I have those sensations back again because I've done the work with the Yoni eggs. So that's how you can overcome some of that. And I want to mention here that so many of us don't talk to our doctors about these things. And in fact, according to a National Institute of Health survey, 70% of women with symptoms of vaginal atrophy don't discuss it with their doctors. And it could be because of embarrassment, or it could be because we've been trained to believe that's just part of getting older, there's nothing that can be done. But there are things that can be done. So I encourage you, if you want, check out Yoni eggs. If you want more information, contact us. Do you have anything more you'd like to say, Kevin?
And then subscribe.
Okay, and yes, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We drop a video every week. If you have questions, reach out to us through our website, or if you want to put something in the comments, we will see what we can do to address that. So thank you for watching.
We'll have another video where we'll talk about some exercises for the guys.